So today I bought a Mavic 2 Zoom. Now I know what you're thinking, is this guy crazy? Is he nuts? It's 2020, why has he just bought a Mavic 2 Zoom? Aren't they going to be releasing a new Mavic 3 in the summer? Yeah, probably, yeah. There is a method behind the madness. So I've used the Phantom 4s, I've used the Inspires, and I've dabbled with the Mavics. I film a lot of marine content, and a large amount of that is product on boats and the people on board the sailing boats or power boats. And I'm often asked to kind of fly in really close and film product on board. Now, it's really tricky to do safely, especially like during races where you're trying to film people and getting close to the action. Trying to do that with a non-zoom camera mounted on a drone is pretty tricky and a little bit hairy at times. And I've had sort of varying success in actually being able to physically fly in closer. It's not sort of my favorite thing to do. And it can get really tricky if you can't get particularly close to the action. When you start flying between boats and judging distances, it becomes a little bit scary. So that's one reason. Previously I was using the P4 V2 Pro, which is fantastic, like an incredible piece of kit to be launching on boats, because you've got kind of the underslung landing gear, which is permanently fixed, that kind of iconic DJI drone model. And it's just immense because you can just hold the legs way above the head, set the drone off, launch it and land it in the same way. You've got tons of clearance from the props, which is super, super safe. Go into it in more detail in another video about methods and safe ways of launching and landing on a boat, but I would certainly recommend it. The Inspire 1 was really kind of cumbersome. It came in like a massive suitcase. It was really tricky to kind of carry that and, you know, any kind of case for it. We ended up with a hard case that was just humongous and again really cumbersome. Unless the client specifies that they want, for example, raw or extremely, you know, high-end footage, or it's the client that expects to see, you know, big cameras, big drones, that kind of thing. I just found that for 95% plus of the work that I was doing, it was complete overkill in terms of size. And I would be operating as a one-man band, so I'd be carrying this massive case. I'd often have, you know, another bag with all of the camera kit in it. At that point, I was shooting on the Ronin M, so I had a separate Peli case for that. And it was just a lot of kit. And I did take it on a huge amount of shoots, and it was a lot of fun. And it was properly back-breaking stuff, lugging that around and on boats as well. And you're often really limited on space, especially if you're like filming on a rib, and you might have a photographer with you as well. They've got their own cases, and it just becomes really unmanageable. So that's another reason why I'm really excited to be shooting with the Mavic drones, because this is the case. It's so small, it's so tiny. So we like this a lot. So in this, we have the Mavic 2 Zoom, we have 3 batteries, the smart controller, all the spare props, media, everything like that, all goes into this single case. Mwah, love it. Coupled with one other Peli case, or like a small backpack, waterproof backpack with the Ronin M, a small waterproof backpack with the Ronin SC and the GH4 or GH5. And you're laughing, really. It's a really, really small portable package that's great for shooting boat to boat. With those fixed wide lenses, when you're in so close with the drone, you're maintaining as much control of the drone as you can. So you are constantly having to adjust the drone height and distance from the subject, which becomes really visible when you're in that kind of close on such a wide lens. So those shots are never looking as good as they can look, because you're constantly making slight adjustments and, you know, tweaks to the drone, because you are so close to other people and the boat as well. So I was never getting the shot that I wanted in the first place. And there's certain things that you could do, obviously punching in if you're filming at 4K and you're delivering at 1080p, which I would often do. But again, it's that kind of, you know, you can see it, especially with like the Phantom 4 camera, you know, that any time that you kind of scale that footage up, you can notice that that footage has been scaled up, and it just wasn't really working for me. So I'm really excited to get using the zoom and seeing what it can do. I've seen some incredible footage of what that drone can do, and it was a real toss-up between the Pro and the zoom at one point, but ultimately I really am excited to be using that zoom feature and finally being able to get some of those shots that I've just kind of had to settle with second best in the past because I haven't physically been able to do it with the drones that I've been using. So I am really excited for that. So watch this space, hoping to put some very cool content up very soon. And just quickly on that, also a must-have, which is going in the box, are NDs. So if anyone's struggling with the footage that they're getting and they're not happy with it when they're filming with their, drone of any kind, they don't have NDs built in, they don't have NDs on the lenses, you've got to buy them separately. And I've used these before on the Phantoms, obviously not these exact ones because these are specific to the zoom, but I've used these on the Phantom 4 and they were phenomenal. I think I used the Polar Pros on the Inspire 1 as well, which again looked really nice. And yeah, really excited to be using these. So I got hold of the Mavic 2 Zoom and the hard case, the NDs, batteries, the smart controller, all through Heliguy, and I literally ordered this thing yesterday at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the guys that I dealt with were super helpful, like emails back and forth, they even phoned me. One of them had come out of a meeting and literally phoned me as soon as he'd come out and was talking me through the kit and the purchase and everything like that. So the experience with Heliguy was just phenomenal, and they're just such a great resource for like information and like product. They've got have some killer deals. They've also got a lot of cool refurb, so you can get some some kit with some money off. They offer finance. There's loads of really good reasons. Heliguy have just been really awesome, and too many thumbs up for them. They were amazing to deal with. Guys, if that has been helpful in any way, please give that like button a good old caressing. Just click the like button and the subscribe.